All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for indulging my little setup time here. So, I have been promising for a long time to start streaming these classes. We're not doing that today, but this is just kind of a little experiment to see how it all works out. So, anyway, good morning, everybody. Is anybody doing yoga for the very first time? Good. Anybody joining me here for the very first time? Welcome, welcome. So, let me just get. Okay, namaste, y'all. Good to see everybody here. So, I've mentioned before that my style of yoga is not so much about precision physical alignment. Yoga, in my belief system, is much more about what's going on between the ears than necessarily what's happening with perfecting a specific yoga pose. Now, of course, we all know that yoga has wonderful physical benefits. But for me, the process of yoga, the most important thing is that it helps to bring us into the present moment, the experience of being right here and right now. Too often, our minds are caught up in things that have already happened or things that might happen in the future. We ruminate over circumstances, over conversations we've had, and regrets, and wish we had done something different. And then likewise, we worry and are concerned about things that may or may not ever happen. So it's my intention through this process that I help you transition from that busy mind, that voice in there that's always narrating and commenting and judging, to move away from that into the experience of being present in the moment. We can be sitting here on the beach and be thinking about, oh, what are all those crab traps out there? What's in those crab traps? Maybe they're squid, maybe it's blah, blah, blah. Your mind can go in all sorts of different directions, and you miss the beauty of sitting here on the beach. So, anyway, Bunche Beach, this is such a beautiful, beautiful spot. So, I love teaching yoga here, and I hope you all enjoy it as well. So, coming into whatever kind of a comfortable seated position works well for you, with the intent of having the spine erect, lifting up through the crown of the head. Just take a moment and circle your weight around. Notice where the weight lands, back of the thighs or the buttocks. See if you can feel the two bony protuberances of the sitting bones. And now coming back to center with the weight evenly distributed right to left. And then lift your shoulders up and back and down. And let the palms turn to face upwards. And notice how just that act of turning the palms upwards helps to relax the shoulders. Metaphorically, it's wonderful as well in that it creates this sort of receptive gesture, telling yourself, telling the universe that you're ready to receive the benefits of our practice this morning. Now, closing the eyes and relaxing the muscles of the face. Begin to direct your attention to your breath. See if you can relax your belly and take longer, slower, deeper breaths down into the abdomen. As you exhale, a slight contraction of the abdominal muscles can be very helpful in allowing the exhalation to be a little bit more complete. So as you inhale, allow the abdomen to expand, the navel moving outwards away from the spine. As you exhale, the slight engagement of the abdominal muscles, just lightly drawing the navel inwards, to squeeze a bit more of that used breath out of the bottom of the lungs. Too often, we are breathing up in the upper lungs shallowly, and stale air is down in the bottom of the lungs. It just doesn't get exchanged. So that's our first focus this morning, is the deep abdominal breath. As you breathe in, let yourself feel the subtleties of the breath. Notice the air entering the body at the tip of the nostrils. Feel that it has a dry, cool quality to it. And likewise, noticing the outflowing breath passing by the nostrils or across the lips. And notice that it has a more moist, warm quality to it. Feel yourself breathing. And imagine that along with the incoming breath, you could also draw your attention inwards on the inhalation, heightening your awareness of what's happening internally. As you exhale, you also have the opportunity to let go of mental activity from the past or the future. Whatever was, let it be. Whatever might be in the future, just let it go. Neither exists now. And with that heightened awareness of what's happening within your body, allow your attention to scan throughout your arms, your legs, your torso, and just notice the various sensations. The sense of pressure where your body rests down against the ground, or where different parts of the body rest against each other. Maybe you can even feel your clothing in contact with your skin. Feel the air caressing the outer body. Let yourself come back to your senses. Hear the gentle lapping of the surf. Feel the warmth of the sun on your body. Let yourself arrive home in your physical form. The term yoga loosely translates as union. We're bringing back together the different elements of our being. Physical body, the mind, the breath, and most importantly, our attention. Now continuing to allow the breath to be long and slow and deep. On the next inhalation, we'll press up through the crown of the head to lengthen the neck. And then as we exhale, slowly let your left ear begin to drop over towards your left shoulder, pressing lightly down through the right elbow. So you feel a bit of a stretch there on the right side of the neck. And just take a moment, see if you can allow your inhalation to flow into that area where you're feeling the stretch. See if you feel a little bit of expansion with the inhalation. And then as you exhale, imagine letting go of any tension or stiffness or stuckness in that area. And then on the next inhalation, bring the head back up to center. Notice the two sides of the neck probably feel different. And then on your next exhalation, the right ear falling towards the right shoulder. We bring that same stretch into the left side of the neck. Do you notice any difference? Do you have more sensation, less sensation? Are you feeling more of a stretch or less? And then inhale, bring it back up to center. And then exhale one more time, left ear to left shoulder. And now this time, allow a little bit of back and forth movement of your head. And let that movement help you to become aware of exactly how the stretch is landing. Notice that you can, by moving the head, you can change the stretch to different muscles on the right side of the neck. And then inhale, come back up to center, same thing. Dropping the right ear to the right shoulder and bringing the stretch back into the left side of the neck. And again, a little bit of tilting movement. Let yourself really feel what's going on in the body. Too often we have areas of tension or discomfort, and we just turn it off. We just reduce our ability to feel that area. And then when we finally come back into yoga and come back into our bodies, we feel that pent-up tension and stress. Let your head come back up to center now. And exhale completely. Let those shoulders drop. Now, with the next inhalation, we're going to begin to float the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Reaching up with the fingertips, let the palms come together. Hold the breath in for just a moment. And then as you exhale, slowly lower the arms back down. Blow all the breath out by the time the hands come down to the ground. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then inhale and reach out through the fingers. Lift the arms up and over. Big breath in. Hold it in. And again, exhale. Blow every bit of breath out. See if you can draw your belly in. Squeeze it out. Hold it out. And again, big inhalation. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the rib cage. Breathe into the upper chest. Completely fill the lungs. Hold it in. Exhale, lower the arms. Breathe out from the upper chest, then from the rib cage, and then from the belly. Blow it all out. Hold it out. And we're going to do this 3 more times. Inhale, reach for those fingers. Feel the arms stretching out of the shoulders. Keep lifting through the crown of the head. Big breath in. Hold. Exhale, release. Let the arms slowly descend as if they were coming down through molasses or honey. And feel those muscles coordinating that slow descent of the arms. Hold the breath out. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Really explore the amount of capacity you have for inhalation here. And then exhale. Blow every bit of breath out. And then last time, inhale, reach the arms up. Palms come together, hold it in. See if you can inhale just a little bit more and hold. Keep the hands together as you release the breath. And then drop the fingertips to the top of the shoulders. And we'll begin to make some circles in the air with the elbows. Circling around one way, circling around the other way. And notice how your shoulders feel this morning. Feel the upper arm bones gliding around. Feel the head of that humerus bone gliding around inside the shoulder joint. Feel the shoulder blades moving around the upper back. If you haven't let your shoulders go, or the elbows go around the other direction, feel free to do that. Or to move the arms back and forth in any way that helps to reveal stuck areas. And if you find areas of tension, discomfort, limited range of movement, you can slow the movement down through that area and breathe into it. And again, remember your exhalation is a wonderful way to let go of tension, pent-up stress. Now, release the hands And slowly float the arms around behind the back. Bring the palms of the hands together, interlace the fingers, and press the knuckles down towards the ground. Now, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift the chin. And take some deep breaths now around your collarbones and into the base of the throat. Feel how good it is to open up this uppermost area of the lungs. See if you can breathe into the thyroid gland and parathyroids. Send a little bit more breath behind the sternum to the thymus gland. Take a breath in. And now as you exhale, drop your chin. Let the head fall forwards. And then tracing a line with your chin up along the right collarbone towards the right shoulder. And then along the left collarbone towards the left shoulder. And go back and forth a couple of times. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck and going down between the shoulder blades perhaps. Now drop the chin once again, relax the head, release the arms, and now float the palms of the hands around to the back of the head and let the weight of the arms just settle into the back of the head, increasing that stretch in the back of the neck. Now with your next inhalation, begin to bring the head up, lift the chin, and press back through the elbows, opening up the chest. Big inhalation, and then exhale and round. Coming forwards, curling the back. And inhale and arch. And exhale and round. Going back and forth. Beginning to limber up the spine. Hopefully noticing that each time we move in one direction or the other, the movement gets a little easier, or you can move a little further. In yoga, spinal health is paramount. The spine in Western medicine, of course, is the conduit for all of our nervous signals, our neurological system. But in yoga, the spine is a conduit of subtle energy, of kundalini, of prana. And then gradually come back up to center. Keep the fingers interlaced and turn the palms up towards the sky. Stretch open the fingers, the palms, and the wrists. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, begin to arch your body lightly over towards the right. Settling the weight into the right buttock and bringing a stretch down the left underarm and rib cage towards the hip. And breathe. Notice you may be able to breathe a little bit more into that left lung since we're creating all that space in between the ribs. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, arching over to the other side now. Weight shifting into the left buttock, pressing across with the heel of the right hand. And then inhale, bring it back up to center. And one more time, arch over to the right. Inhale, expand the lungs. Exhale, see if you can settle down into it a little bit more. Begin to work your edge. That point in a stretch where you begin to encounter resistance or discomfort. We inhale and kind of back off of that edge a little bit and exhale and see if we can relax into the edge. Then inhale, come back up to center and exhale, other side. So that's a way of consciously working with the body. Too often in exercise or stretching, we come up against those limitations in the body and try and force against them. And that generally is counterproductive, especially when we're talking about flexibility or range of movement. Now inhale, bring your arms back up to center. We're going to release the hands and we'll lower the arms so that they're at shoulder height straight out to the sides. Actually look at the hands. Make sure the top of the shoulder is level with the back of the hand. Inhale, lift through the crown of the head and get a sense of your spine being perpendicular to the ground. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, we're going to twist towards the right, letting the outer body revolve around the inner body. The right arm reaches around behind the back and the left hand comes over to the right knee. Gently looking over that right shoulder without straining the neck. Breathe. Take a breath in. And then exhale and slowly let your body release back forwards. Feel that unwinding process. And take a moment back at center to notice the difference between the two sides of the body. Especially notice the difference in the right side of the chest versus the left side. Now inhale, arms once again come out to the sides from the shoulders. Breathe in. And breathe out. We're going to twist to the left now. So left arm around behind the back. Right hand to left knee. And turning to look over the shoulder. Long, slow, deep breaths. Again, try and keep the neck muscles soft. Sometimes when we have a lack of rotation in the torso, we make up for it by over-rotating the neck. Take a breath in and hold the breath in lightly. And then exhale and slowly release on that out breath. And just take a moment to feel. Notice how the upper body feels, your arms, your shoulders, your back. Hopefully those warm-up movements were successful. Okay, we can begin to extend the legs now. Gently rocking the legs a little bit from side to side. Jog the knees a little bit. How's everybody doing so far?
Good.
Good. Okay, now we're going to do some hip openers. Now we're going to do some hip openers. We want to sit up nice and tall on the sitting bones. And then we'll bend the right knee up to the right elbow and bring the left hand or forearm around the foot. And you want to start cradling that leg, just gently rocking it back and forth. And see how open the hip and buttock are. See how much you can draw that thigh up. Imagine cradling your lower leg like a baby. And notice what happens if you let the weight come more into that right buttock. You'll probably feel the sitting bone there and maybe the attachments of the hamstring muscles. And then we'll release that movement and take hold of that right foot with both hands. And we're going to do a little rowing movement. We extend the leg out in front and draw it back and extend it out. Big movements. Now when you extend that leg, see if you can get a stretch in the arms and the upper back as you do so. Reverse the directions of the circles. And then we're going to take that foot over to the opposite hip and lay the bent knee down in front of us. Press out through that left heel Bring the arms down in front on either side of the legs. Now inhale, we're going to reach the arms up, come up out of the waist, lengthen up, and then as you exhale, begin to fold yourself out over the legs. Come as far forward as you comfortably can, release the hands down, and then use the breath to work your edge. Inhaling, you'll notice you lift out of the stretch a little bit. And perhaps as you exhale, you may be able to come a little bit more into it. However, that's not essential. More is not necessarily better. A very deep, full, intense stretch that you do while you're thinking about your shopping list is much less effective than a very simple stretch that you're feeling and breathing and consciously engaged in. Take another breath in, exhale, see if you drop into it just a little bit more. And then as you inhale, slowly walk the hands up the front of the legs and come back upright. Uncross that right leg. Now rock your legs a little bit from side to side, and you'll notice little different sensations from one leg to the other. We opened up the hip and knee more on the right side, the hamstring and calf more on the left side. So in order to create balance, we'll do it on the other side. So now we bend the left knee up to the inside of the left elbow and bring the right hand or forearm around that right leg. And notice this leg could be very, very different. It certainly is for me. My right leg has some challenges from my lower back, whereas my left leg does not. Now I'm doing it mirror image to you, so this is my right leg. But anyway, rocking it back and forth and really feeling that hip joint. How often do you really bring your attention down into the hip joint? One of my teachers uses a phrase called sensory motor amnesia, where little by little we either choose to or forget how to feel or move different parts of the body. So yoga reconnects our consciousness with physical self. Now, hands now come to the left foot, and we begin our big circular movements, opening up the ankle and the knee and the hip. Circle around one way and then the other way. And feel free to go back and forth through a range of movement that feels therapeutic. And as you extend that leg, using that action to stretch open the shoulders and the upper back. And then we'll take that foot and come over to the opposite hip. And again, realign here. See if you can come up on the sitting bones. You want to try and drop that left buttock. Hands down on either side of the legs. Exhale the breath out. Now inhale, reach the arms up and on either side of the ears. Lifting through the fingertips. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, folding yourself forwards. Try and keep the leg active, pressing out through the heel, drawing toes back. Let your hands drop wherever they will, and then relax the upper body. This is chin to knee pose, so that gives you an idea of the direction we're moving in. Now, all of our bodies are not the same, so don't judge where you are based on where someone else is at. With each exhalation, see if you can relax a little bit more into it. And then as you're ready, walk the hands upright. Walk the hands up the front of the legs and come back upright. And then we'll extend that leg, rock them back and forth, and they should feel more balanced now. The back of the legs is open, the knees, the hips, the ankles open. So we're going to do one more from this position, but we're going to bend the knees, both of them, and bring the soles of the feet close together. Press the heels into each other and see if you can press the outer knees down, sort of opening up the soles of the feet towards the sky. Wrap your hands around your ankles or the toes and lift the chin and the chest. Notice you'll feel a little bit of a stretch there. Inhale. As you exhale, press your chin and chest forwards just a little bit as you continue to press down through the outer knees. Now, you don't necessarily have to come very far into this pose in order to feel some intensity. Breathe into what you're feeling. Exhale, relax. And then with an inhalation, gradually come back up. We release the hands. We place the palms of the hands on the outer legs and then gently close the legs. Lengthen the legs, excuse me. And then rock the legs a little from side to side. And just take a moment to observe how your legs feel. Hopefully after that experience, you now more greatly inhabit the legs. Okay, and then in whatever way you would like, we'll gradually come up into a standing position. And I gotta reset the camera. Okay, how'd the warm-ups feel? Good, we'll just do a couple little ones and then we'll move into some standing poses. So first of all, bring your feet close together. And then just begin to rock your weight around a little circle. You can place your hands on your hips. Circle the hips around one way, circle the hips around the other way. And notice how those sacroiliac joints feel, those little joints between the buttocks and the sacrum there. All right, now come back to center. Rock your weight just a little forwards and a little back. Come on to the heels till you feel the front of the legs engage, and then rock forward onto the toes. Come up on tippy toes, feel the action in the back of the legs. Now, see if you can become aware of the action in the feet. We have all of these wonderful little bones and muscles in our feet that we often forget about once we stick them in shoes or sneakers. So see if you can spread your toes and really let them grip the ground like fingers. Good. Now, bring your shoulders up and back and down. Let the palms of the hands be next to the thighs with the fingertips pressing down towards the ground. Tuck the tailbone under slightly and align your hips, your shoulders, your ankles, and your ears. Otherwise said, ears, shoulders, hips, and ankles. Great. Lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale the breath out. And then as you inhale, reach the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Bring the palms of the hands together. Interlace the fingers. Extend the index fingers. Now let yourself just wiggle a little bit from one side to the other. Notice that as you do so, the hips move in one direction and the upper body moves in the other direction. A counterbalancing action. Now come back up to center, realign forward to back in that same plane where ears and shoulders and hips and ankles are all in alignment. Breathe in, and as you breathe out now, we're going to press the left hip out to the left. Let the upper body come over towards the right. And again, notice if you're leaning forwards or back. And breathe. Breathe into that stretch along the side of the body. With each exhalation, perhaps you can drop into it just a little bit more. Now inhale, bring yourself back up to center. And exhale, other side, same thing. Now, you may have a tendency here to press the upper shoulder forwards and the lower shoulder back. So if you find yourself doing that, reverse it. Press the lower shoulder forwards and the upper shoulder back. You can even look down at your ankles to check your alignment. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale one more time, arching right. And breathe. Really feel all the sensations in this pose as you stay consciously connected to the breath. Inhale, bring yourself up. And exhale, other side. Your nose should be facing forwards. The head framed by the arms. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Release the hands and float them around to a place on the upper buttocks, just on that bony ridge there above the buttocks. And press the elbows towards each other. And we'll take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the pelvis forward slightly and lift your chin and your chest. We're going to come into a very gentle, supported back bend. As you press into the heels of the hands, press down a little bit and you'll find that very supporting for the lower back muscles. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bring the pelvis back underneath the torso, torso back over. Now, shift the hands to the outer hips. Take a breath in. And as you exhale now, we're going to softly bend the knees and come forward halfway. Pausing as the head and the heart are level. Buttocks pressing away. Crown of the head pressing towards the water. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, gradually fold yourself forwards. Release the arms. And then take hold of the right elbow with the left hand and the left elbow with the right hand. And let yourself sway a little bit from side to side. Give your head a little bit of a shake. Relaxing all the muscles of the neck. Breathe. Imagine tension and stress draining off those shoulders. Release the hands. Now, imagine a question mark that turns into an exclamation point. Bend the knees a lot, and then on an inhalation, gradually start rounding up. Take 2 or 3 breaths to do this. Keep the knees bent. Keep the head hanging until last as you stack one vertebrae on top of another. Let the head come up last. And just take a moment to feel that shift in circulation with the head back on top of things again. Okay. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, arms come out to the sides and up overhead. Palms together, interlace the fingers, breathe in. As we breathe out, left hip to the left, torso arches right. Inhale up to center. Exhale, torso arches left. Right hip presses right. Inhale, come up. Release the hands to the back of the buttocks. Anchor those hands. Breathe in. Press the elbows towards each other. As you exhale, press hip bones forwards and lift the chin and the chest. Now, you may be able to come into this a little bit more this time, but be very sensitive to the needs of the lower back, especially if you have any lower back injuries. Take a breath in, breathe out, and as you breathe out, come back up. Shifting the hands to the outer hips. Bend the knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, come halfway forwards. Head and heart level. Take a moment to really lengthen the spine. Breathe in. Now, as you breathe out and come forwards, release the hands and see if you can wrap the hands around the back of the legs, pressing the crown of the head towards the ground as you use the arms to draw the thighs a little closer against the belly and lift the tailbone and press the crown of the head towards the ground.
Take a breath in and out. Of course, you can't breathe as fully with the belly bound like this. Now release the hands. Come back up halfway, hands on hips. Pause there for a breath. Inhale, come back up the rest of the way, hands to the lower buttocks, the back, and we press the hip bones forwards again, a supported back bend. Breath in, and then breathing out. Come back up to center. Back to mountain pose, arms next to the sides, lift through the crown of the head. Just pause for a moment, notice how you feel. Feel that connection of the feet to the earth. Now, inhale, reach the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Palms come together, interlace those index fingers, arms framing the ears, tuck the tailbone under, breathe in. As you breathe out, arching to the right as left hip goes left. Keep the nose and the chest facing forwards. Inhale, come back up, and exhaling to the side, keeping ears and shoulders and hips and ankles in alignment. Inhale, come back up. Now, if you'd like, you can keep the arms up here, or if you prefer, you can bring them down to the buttocks. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press hip bones forwards, easing into an unsupported back bend. Be careful. Breathe in. And then the exhalation takes us back up to center. Inhale once again. And now we're going to drop the arms to shoulder height. Bend the knees. Come forward halfway. Pausing halfway, let the right hand reach out to the right, left hand to the left. Breathe in. Breathe out, release yourself forwards, wrap the hands around the back of the legs. Press the crown of the head towards the ground as you lift the tailbone. Marvelous stretch for the buttock muscles, sacroiliac joints, lower back. Release the arms, inhale, come up halfway, knees bent. And then inhaling up the rest of the way. Hands to the lower back, supported back bend. Inhale back up to center. Relax the arms. Just pause for a moment to notice how you feel. Notice if there were particular areas of the body that were woken up by those movements. Okay, and we're going to move from here into a balancing pose. It's always wonderful to do our balancing poses in this setting because we have the horizon, and of course we're literally grounded. We're standing here on the earth as opposed to a carpet on a laminate floor on, the third floor of a building or something like that. So anyway, we'll begin again at the feet. We build the foundation of the pose from the ground up. Rock your weight a little bit back and forth. Let the toes grip the ground. And then we're going to begin to shift the weight over into the right leg. We'll release slowly the weight from the left foot, bring the heel up towards the ankle, and just create a little kickstand pose. And see how that works for you. How's your balance this morning? Now, if you can balance just on that right foot, you have the option of bringing the foot up to the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. You don't want to be pressing against the inside of the knee. Now, once you have your balance, you can bring the palms of the hands together. Breathe into the belly. Feel the strength of the standing leg. And if your tree is well rooted, its branches may grow upwards. But of course, if your roots are not well grounded and the trunk is unsteady, those branches are not going to grow. And then slowly, gracefully coming out, placing that left foot down with care. And then we'll plant that left foot And again, think about roots growing down from the sole of the foot into the ground. Now, beginning to release the weight from the right foot, and again, a little kickstand pose here. See how that works for you. And then if that's successful, then perhaps bringing the foot up to the inside of the calf or thigh. And again, protect the knee. You don't want to be pressing laterally into the knee with the heel. Palms of the hands come together. Breathe into the belly. Let your gaze be on a point in the distance like the horizon. Alternately, you can look at a point on the ground about 8 to 10 feet out in front of you. You don't want to be staring at the back of the head of the person in front of you. And arms coming up if that feels successful to you. And then slowly lower it down. And gracefully replace that foot. And just close the eyes for a moment. Tune inwards. Feel the sensations. Integrate the experience. Each of our yoga asanas or postures create specific physiological effects. And when we pause afterwards, we really get to experience those subtle benefits that continue after the release of the outward pose. Great. Okay, let's come back onto the ground in a seated position. Legs extended out in front. Okay, with the legs seated out in front, rock your weight a little bit back and forth from side to side. Feel those sitting bones again. And then taking the flesh of one buttock out of the way and then the other so the sitting bones are even more in contact with the ground. Let the hands be on either side of the thighs. Exhale the breath out. Inhale, reach the arms up and on either side of the ears. Lengthen yourself up out of the waist. Nice long body. Now, we're going to hold here for a couple of breaths. You want to approximate a letter L with your body. Notice what happens if you lift through your chin and the chest. Notice what happens if you drop your shoulder blades. So we want to lift through the front body and descend through the back body. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, gradually extend yourself forwards. When your back begins to round, let your hands drop to toes or feet or ankles, wherever you can reach. Now, in this pose, there's two different dynamics. On the inhalation, press the crown of the head towards the top of the feet. On the exhalation, see if you can allow your nose to move more towards the front of the legs. Breathe and feel. And then on an inhalation, gradually begin to walk the palms of the hands up the front of the legs. Good. Now, we're going to take that right leg and we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the left knee, pressing out through the left heel. We want to keep both legs active. We're going to place the left palm on the outer right knee, and again, see if you can equalize the weight on both sitting bones. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, relax the shoulders. With the next inhalation, the arm comes up at shoulder height. Breathe in. And breathing out, we're going to sweep that arm around and back behind. Palm of the hand coming on the ground behind you. Turn to look over that shoulder. And breathe. The inhalation helping to lift and lengthen.
The exhalation helping with rotation. Take a breath in and out. And then inhale, reach the arm up in front or up behind, and then sweep it back around in front. Release the arm. Then extend that right leg, and we'll repeat the spinal twist on the other side. So now left foot comes to the outside of the right thigh, hug that knee in. We're going to bring the palm of the right hand to the outer left knee and extend the left arm this time out in front. Press through the heel, breathe in. And as you breathe out, sweep the arm along the horizon, keep the shoulders level, and then plant that hand on the ground behind you as you wrap the arm around the knee. Keep pressing out through the extended leg, press down through the bent knee foot, and look over the shoulder. Breathe into wherever you're feeling sensations, any intensity or discomfort or stiffness. And then with your next inhalation, gradually we'll reach that right arm up and exhale back around and release the arm. And again, just take a moment to feel the release of that twist. Generally speaking, when we release a spinal twist, you may experience sort of an upward welling of energy in the spine. Lengthening that leg, and then we'll come down onto the ground, onto our backs with the knees bent. And then lengthening the legs out, we now come into position for our deep relaxation. Taking some long, slow deep breaths. Feel the places where your body rests down into the ground. Feel that contact, back of the head, shoulder blades, the arms, the buttocks, the back of the legs, back of the heels. And just let yourself relax down into the earth. Feel the planet drawing you down by gravity, almost like the earth is giving you a hug. Every bit of this body that you've been given has come from the earth. Every bit of energy in your body has come from the sun. Feel both of those now. The cool, solid earth beneath us. The warm, open sky above us. And for the next few minutes, there's nothing that you really need to do. This is your opportunity to just be. To breathe, relax, and let go. gradually now begin to bring your awareness back to your breath and back to your body. Slowly beginning to bring some little movements into your fingers and your toes. Let your head rock a little bit from side to side. And then gradually bringing your knees one at a time up towards the chest. Wrapping your forearms around your shins. Take this opportunity to thank your body. Let yourself really feel gratitude for this amazing biological entity that is our vehicle in this lifetime. Thank your body for all it does for you. Apologize to your body for all that you do to it. And then gradually, in whatever way you'd like, coming back up into a seated position for our closing. So once again, sitting with eyes closed, turning inwards, notice how you feel, what your internal climate is. Notice the relaxation in the body, the quiet of the mind, the subtle flow of the breath. And hopefully, noticing a heightened ability to be here now in the present moment. And the experience of now. And as a way of closing our time together, I'll invite you to take a big breath in and then join me intoning the sacred sound of Om. Inhaling together. Om. Om, peace. 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 Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste, y'all. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Grab that can. Hope you all enjoyed that. There is class next week at 9 a.m.